Feature Friday.
The freshest.
So what are your
As a
conclusion,
final conclusion of this whole album, I'll just be objective and not be totally
how about you have two opinions, right? You have one as a fan and then one as like a musician or a professional, and then but one as a fan first.
As a fan, it's very simple. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, end of it. That's my review conclusion.
Yeah.
It's a crazy album. It's awesome. Everything about it just it's beautiful. As an objective,
Favorite track?
I'll definitely Sign from Above, 100%. Just because he has two of my favorite artists of the whole wide world, and that's Elton John and Lady Gaga together. Sir Elton John.
I don't know if it's offensive if you don't say this, sir, but just because he has it in his name.
You should say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And number 2 would be Enigma. I think those are my top 2 songs. The whole album, from Chromatica 1 all down to Babylon, all of them in one whole go, it's a great journey. Musically speaking, it really starts in a dark, adventurous, wondrous place, and it takes you away from the instant reality, and it just totally transports you to her struggles and her own battles, and her way of coping with her mental health issues, and her surroundings, and everything just kind of like pieces together in this really cool puzzle. And you start to see these images that are very abstract, but they make so much sense together. So I like then the name of the album makes sense then when you hear it all. Chromatica, this is spectrum, this wave of colors and changes and shapes, and it just tells a story in a way that has never been done before. And I believe if I think of something similar, I would go back to Gaga.
Right.
So I would think, it's something that perhaps she visited in our pop and couldn't fulfill because the music industry didn't understand what she was going for. Plus, she was very secretive about the meaning of it all in our pop. She wasn't as open to her personal journey in that phase of her career. Now she's very verbal about her whole journey and how she feels and her struggles.
More open
And she's open to let people see her vulnerable side, which is something it takes a lot of strength from an artist, and putting it out there for the whole world to see and pick and tear apart or put it together. It's quite a strong money move, I would say, So
I think it's not only a money move, but it's also like must be nerve-wracking for her. Like, finally she coming out and saying that so much happened in the industry to her when she was in the industry. She still is, but not in such a place, where people took advantage of her and this has scarred her for life. And this is maybe just one thing that has happened. You know what I mean? We don't know all the other struggles and all the other kicks and scars she's got in her psyche.
I remember the first time she spoke about her assault, and it was such a shock from the industry. It was like, oh my God, who is it? Name him. Give us names. We need to report this type of behavior or whatever. And the whole industry went upside down about it. But she kept saying, I'm not gonna name because we're putting a face to a monster. Like, we're giving attention to something that doesn't need it. And she was trying to explain how people kind of lost the fact that it became about this other person instead of what it actually meant to her. And it never really further developed into, nobody ever really saw this side of her up until now. And it's magical. It really is. It's a wonderful journey to take on.
So was that as a fan or as a Bit of both.
A bit of both.
I think it's a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm too invested to just totally strip it away.
I think it's not only that. I think it's very hard to differentiate both opinions when you genuinely like someone. You know, and not only genuinely like someone, she's someone that has inspired your career, your music and your compositions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think from someone that is like, I don't people know by now, like I'm not a hardcore Lady Gaga fan, like I've always said, but from like say the way I look at artists that I'm not the biggest fan of, I always say yet, because they could put an album that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it, and now I understand what they mean, I understand the stuff. So from my perspective, it's like, has this album made me grow more as a fan of Gaga? Well, in the terms of like that she is so much more than what she looks, yes, you know what I mean. I think it's inevitable if you take your time to look at what, you know, her album, and this is the first time I've taken time to listen to a Lady Gaga album from top to bottom, and look at lyrics, dissect it, talk about it, talk to someone who actually knows her. First time, right? So looking at it from that perspective, it's like she does, in my opinion, just me, she does qualify under that sort of like genius level of creativity. Like it is bizarre what she's able to do, and it's so bizarre it's actually a bit like creepy. Like she's able to do so much lyrically, and she's so smart, eerily smart, that she puts it behind a pop facade and a bam little song.
Absolutely.
She's
so clever,
so smart, dude.
And that collaboration with Blood Pop, they really, I think, if
this is the first time she's worked with him.
No, this is not her first time working with him, but you can see that Blood Pop and Lady Gaga really worked together. Like it wasn't, here's the directions, here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
From either side, because usually sometimes some artists hired certain producers because they know the sound they're gonna get from the producer, and then they just give orders and opinions on what they and expect a sound.
I see.
But is the other way around. Producers demand a certain sound from the artist because they know how it would fit with their creation. But in here, it just seemed like it was a partnership. Like the two main elements about this album were really connected, and they just kind of fit and made sense.
Right. They worked with Justin Bieber before, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure they've worked with a lot of artists.
Blood Pop literally makes every good pop song that's ever been out there.
I'm just not that into pop. That's why I really haven't heard that much of them.
Yeah,
and Burns as well was mentioned a lot. Burns.
Yeah.
What is that?
He obviously helped as well, another producer.
Oh, right.
I don't actually know much about him.
Right. Well, he's definitely produced
but
a lot.
But he did, he produced Rain on Me, Sour Candy.
Jesus Christ.
Just Like You by Louis
Party Next Door, Trauma, Britney Spears.
Make Me, Britney, Hands On, Burns. Like, I mean...
Liam Payne first time.
Babylon it's actually
well.
his as well.
Yeah.
So...
It's great.
You know, you got great names and collaborating together. But it's a collaboration. It didn't sound like, this is what they're gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do.
Like anyone try to impose anything on anyone.
No, and I love when there's a natural initial communication, because what you get is this, a very solid concept that grows, that flows. And I'm not a fan of 16 song albums, because I think they become repetitive, they kind of sometimes become a bit...
Yeah, but realistically, this was a 13 song album, because it has 3 interludes.
Oh, true. But even the interludes in like a long album, they tend to be a bit unnecessary, skippable, things that simply don't fit in. They're just like a breathers.
Hands down, though, best interludes I've ever seen in an album.
Beautiful arrangements.
Best arranged interludes I've ever seen. I'm a bit biased because I still think, in my book, like Bryson Tiller with Trap Soul.
It had a very similar effect, yes.
It created the vibe. It created
and whole atmosphere.
And what I guess he wanted to portray in the album. Yeah, but I'm just biased because he's one of my favorite artists. But yeah, this was, you know, it's not really arguable. It's like it is one of the best compositions in an album in terms of arrangements and the way it's structured that I've seen in a while. You know.
I love it, and I would love to see. I don't know.
Benjamin Rice, what a machine.
Yeah, the vocal producer, he literally made her sound like a goddess.
Yeah.
Not that she needed that much help, just saying.
No, but I'm saying like the way ad-libs were equalized and mastered.
And placed and positioned, it was very cleverly done.
Machine, mate.
Yeah.
What a machine.
10 out of 10.
For you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my only concern is just that I hope people don't, again, I don't give numbers to albums, because I really don't care. But
I do. 10 out of 10.
the only concern I have is because it is behind the facade of pop, and every song, it's like the previous song, bam, bam, bam. I just hope people do really give it a chance. People like me do give it a chance and really do sit down to acknowledge it and accept and dissect it and try and listen to it and try and look behind the facade, because it is much more than just an electro pop dance song.
Yeah.
Or an electro pop dance album.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much more that it could push, you know, people's ratings from like a 6 or 7 pop to like a 10, you know?
It runs deep.
Because it does have a
runs
back
deep.
end. It has a lore, it has back end, it has essence, it has a story.
It's a very strong concept. It's a very
good
congruent
album.
journey. It's beautiful.
It's a great album. And there's definitely songs that I'm going to add to my playlist. And that I again, like I said at the beginning, I stand by that. I would be pissed if even a club they don't play
LADY
one of these
Gaga
bangers
song, yeah.
because they bang.
Yeah.
They actually do bang. You know what I mean?
Pop it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Anyway, so let us know what you thought. What you thought.
What are
and,
your final conclusions and yeah, thoughts on the whole album? Because
what were your top 3 tracks?
oh, very interesting choice. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you around. Stick around if you haven't. Just like, subscribe, and whatever. And we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Sup people, if you're a dancer. Sup people, if you're watching this and you're a rapper or a beat producer,
A singer, a ghostwriter, or even just somebody who likes new music,
then this is for you.
Feature Friday is the show where we make new music every week featuring your tracks, your raps, your lyrics, or yourself as an artist.
There's no catch. This isn't one of those weird posts where you click on the website and you're trying to order AirPods and they say it's free and then you have to pay like $100,000 million for shipping. This is completely free. We understand how difficult it is in the music industry to get seen, and there's so many amazing rappers and singers and beat producers out there. So this is just a place to showcase your skills. We showcase our skills. We make music every week, which we love doing anyways. We get to show new artists to new people and new people to new artists.
So if you'd like to get featured next, message me here on Instagram or email me, and we will get in touch pretty soon.
Please do it fast because a waiting list is forming and we don't want anyone waiting around. Keep scrolling by.
See you Friday.
Peace.
Bye-bye.